And in that business, if you're honest with people and you're always doing the right thing, you can't really go wrong. Even when the hard calls are to be made, do the right thing and you will be successful. Second, be responsive. We needed to have a product that would respond to the needs. Do we have a responsive product? You saw the Fab 50 up here. It's amazing how many lives this is changing. I love that. So the first and second are great operating principles, but the third one I really want to focus in on today. I want to focus in on how to be profitable and how you can actually take your business, because some of you may be here and you're where I was 6 years ago, having that very first meeting where I was trying to figure out how to do a grand opening for my business. I had just returned from visiting with the Brooks, and we were all excited about getting this business up and running, and they said, have a meeting. So I held a meeting, and many of you are going to go home, and you're going to have a meeting. And you're going to go out there, and you're going to try to figure out what you're supposed to do, and your mentors and upline are going to help you in that process. I didn't have a lot of that other than I knew Andrew was coming to my house, and we were going to put on a meeting. Be profitable. Let me share with you what has happened in this time, in this business. Give it time. Be profitable with your time. Because you know what? 6 years ago, I couldn't have envisioned all the things that have happened in our life to get us to where we are today. But I knew we had a product that could get us there. I knew it would work. I knew it would respond to the needs of the marketplace. And we had a compensation plan that was profitable, that if I did certain things in certain ways, I could get to that end. And I could make that happen for me, for our team, and for all of the people. But I want to talk a little bit more about profitable in your time. Because so many are not real profitable in what they do with their time in this business. And it is the downfall of many. And I'll tell you, the unfortunate part is you can make more money. You can find better health by changing your lifestyle. When time is gone, you can never regain it again. It slips away every moment, every second, and so you've got to use your time in a profitable way. And I would encourage you to interact with profitable people. Find out if you're putting yourself in situations and interacting with the people that are lifting you so that you can make the most of the time that we do have. So time is an important element in this. It's also important that you're interacting with the right people and that you've got a team. And if I could portray two things, it would be 2 words of 4 letters each. Time and team help you be profitable in this business. It takes time. This is not get rich quick, but it's get rich steady over time, and that's a whole lot better than get rich never. So, be profitable. And I want to ask you, what are your operating principles? What are your operating principles that you operate on? Be ethical, be responsive, be profitable. If you like them, steal them, use them. I do that a lot. I learned from these great leaders. All of the great speakers that we've had at convention. Was Pat not awesome? I was taking notes all morning this morning. I couldn't get it down quick enough. What great content. If you just grab one nugget of that and you take that and incorporate it into your operating principles. Find what it is that will make you tick, but have some principles, because I truly believe if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Stand for principles that matter and get your content from the people that can help you. And develop a routine. I want to share with you quickly, with the time I have remaining, some routines that I am involved in. And a couple of these are done on video, and this one is my morning routine. I just want to share with you a little bit on this video. It'll tell you a little bit about what happens when I wake up in the morning. Sorry for the pajamas. I'm warning you right now. Is this going to work? Okay. Can we go back to that? Is there a way to... I'm hoping not all the videos are that way, or this is going to be a really short presentation. That's my morning routine, right about there.
Really dark pajamas.
Yeah. Why don't we come back to that morning routine?
Oh, there
we go. As you can see, this is my bedroom. I roll out of bed, typically waking up right around 6:30, 7 o'clock, somewhere in there in the morning. And the very first thing I do, I don't put the feet on the ground, I just roll right onto my knees and show my gratitude to the Father in heaven that has blessed us so bountifully in our lives. I give that gratitude, and then I typically will roll right into this chair because it's only 6 feet from my bed when I'm done with that, and go right into my planning for the day and my hour of power is what I call it. Early in the morning when everything's quiet, the house is quiet, the kids are not up yet. A lot of times I'll just sit down and write out my goals, following our 150 days to goal. Review my top priorities that I have for the day, and specifically what I have from the night before. and then be able to go through how I'm going to increase my service today in different aspects of my life, writing down the things that are most meaningful to me. I also spend this hour typically in just reflection on what's going on, planning out my day, planning out my week, reading some of my favorite books that I have. Sometimes it's reading the books, and other times it's actually listening to audio books that I have. But probably one of my all-time favorite books, I'll just tell you, is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families. Really big about making sure that I'm a good dad and doing what I can from the balance from that side. So I love that book. And a couple of them that I've really been reading a lot lately is Making the First Circle Work by Randy Gage and The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. These are a couple great books for the network marketing side of it that just really help emphasize those things. So I'll spend this time in writing out my goals, making my priorities, reading books, listening to the audios, really focusing in on the things that matter most. And I'll tell you, this hour makes all the difference for me, because I believe if you start your day out right and you're feeding your mind, starting first with the gratitude for what's going on in your life, and then second, with being able to fill your ideas with what you're going to accomplish throughout the day, to be a lot more effective. So that's kind of what this is all about. I'll take you one other place, and that is, as soon as I'm done here, follow me to my office, if you will. This is the bedroom. Come on in here to the office. I'll typically, this is my commute, by the way. I love this commute these days, because instead of commuting into my job that I used to do in my manufacturing world, this is the office. And as you can see, I have the tools and what I need in order to make my business work with the toolbox. Obviously, the phone's got to be close at hand, whether it's the landline or the cell phone. I've got my computer here as well. I never leave home without my calendar, an agenda out, what I've got to do for the day, my mentoring calls through the week, and all the details blocked out in time, both electronically as well as in my 150 Days to Gold and a printed version of that, so I can stay on task with what's happening. And then always my to-do list and notepads. One of the calls I'm working on right now is how to get to platinum and how to rank advance through that. With golds, I'm working with a couple of key people and some of the things that I need to accomplish for the day. So they're all right here, and after that hour of power, being able to focus in on what matters most and getting ready for my day here in my office. And you just saw the long commute boiled down to what it could be for somebody that really finds joy in working in this business. It's a wonderful commute. You can do it in your pajamas. It doesn't get any better than that. I have to apologize. The pajamas, that's embarrassing. Okay, we're going to just keep right on going. Principles, we talked a little bit about that already. Morning routine, so to recap, show gratitude. I hope all of you are doing that. Being grateful for what it is that's most important. Writing down your goals, reading your goals. How can I increase my service? This is a skill I learned, and by the way, if you're taking notes, those books were a good one. Another one is Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale. An incredible audio program that I found. He basically teaches you to do this. How can I increase my service? Writing your primary goal across the top of the page, and then ways that you can increase your service today to all of those that you have in the different roles in your life, whether it's in your family life, in your business, and the people that you're interacting with in your team, and to feed your mind the good things. So these are important. What's your routine? And I'm going to challenge you right now. I'd like for you just to be able to write down what are some things that you could do. Maybe you've been prompted here throughout this weekend of what you can do to increase the service to your team. Specifically here with the people that are involved in your business and those that are back home waiting for you to return. What can you do to increase your service? Both from your business standpoint as well as for your personal life. And I would challenge you to find that. Find a routine that will help you do that. I also am really big on planning. And planning out my day and making sure that I've got my day and my week organized. In our 150 Days to Goal, we have the ability to be able to plan out a little bit better, get our top priorities down. And I want to share with you one of my favorite videos. It comes from that book that I had mentioned. It's The 7 Habits of Highly Successful Families. And I just want to share with you from Stephen Covey a cool little video. It's called Charlie's Dilemma. Take a look. rocks in first. What's important to you? The most important things are the big things. And you've got to put those in first, because the sand, it seems that if you get stuck in the sand, how many of us feel like we're working harder and harder and we're not working smarter? If you put the big things in first, the big rocks in, prioritize what it is that's most important in your day and in your life, the sand can always fill in the rest of it. Don't get caught up in the thick of thin things and get stuck in the sand. You need to be able to put the first things first. And you know, sometimes, and I've quoted this a lot, but sometimes through my career I found that I was climbing up the ladder of success only to realize that it was leaning against the wrong wall when I got to the top of it. That's how I felt in corporate America. In this business, I would encourage you that you can put your ladder anywhere you want. And I love that. And you can climb it as fast or as slow as you want in this business as well. But make sure that you're putting the first things first and that you're headed in the right direction. I've got a lot of videos here to show you, so I'm going to blast through these quick. But here's a few of my big rocks. The most important things for me, one of the biggest things, is that I've got to make sure that I start my Monday out right. So Monday is my big day. Monday is the day that sets the tone for the week. And for those of you that are in a leadership position and that you're moving your way up, you realize that you'll relate to this next part. I'll just kind of narrate this a little bit here. It's a typical Monday around my home. It begins at around 9 a.m. after the hour of power and driving the kids to school, which is a definite big rock of mine. It kind of starts a little something like this. This would be 9 a.m. Sure. This is trying to manage 2 calls at 9:30 that cross over, but then get off the one and get on the other. This is about 10. I think that one's the leadership call. This is around 11:30. Then we get on the field advisory call, and I'm usually in front of my computer, but I have to eat lunch, so this is typical Monday. That was last Monday. This is reality TV. So it's pretty much a day full of phone calls. But my favorite calls, my big rock calls, are the ones that you don't just necessarily listen to, but that you engage everybody in. And those are the mentoring calls that we do. And the accountability calls that happen with our teams. I love these accountability calls. I want to give you a sneak peek on one of these calls that happened just this last week. Hey, we'd like to welcome everybody to our North Carolina Peter Henry Team Accountability Call. This is week 2, and I'm excited to see you all at convention and be a part of this with you, and very excited to have all of you on the line to learn a little bit more and become accountable to your business and making it happen. You know what I'd love to do is just get some quick impressions from you.
Jeremy is Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
And I have to say, and I think I can speak on behalf of all of us, that the initial call last week it was like, it wasn't like putting letting a little spark underneath us. It was like letting the atomic bomb underneath us. It was amazing.
All right, so let's get the accountability going here. Let's shoot it over to Christiana. Christiana, if you could start out with giving us your boxes to goal, both on your left and your right, and your PDAs and RPAs as well. Why don't you go ahead and share that with us if you would.
Okay, I will be quick. I know we got a lot of people. 14 and 11 left to go. Left 14, right 11. My PGA was 48. My RPA was 23. Somewhat like.
So you may be asking yourself, what is all this jargon that happens on these accountability calls? Well, it's interesting. You know, in about 5 to 10 minutes, I can assess 6 to 8 people on a call, and many of our leaders have been doing this using a system, PDA and RPA. I think I've got a slide on that. Using the 150 Days to Gold, we're tracking the numbers of what people's personal development activities are day to day. Are you reading 10 pages from an inspiring book? Are you exercising 20 minutes a day? If you are, you get a checkbox. Are you eating your healthy chocolate in the morning? If you do, that's an easy one, guys. Come on, check that one off. If you're eating it in the afternoon, you can check that one. Did you get on the call? Did you participate in the call that might have been happening on Monday night's training call? If you did, check that off in your box. At the end of Monday, you total up your PDA score. At the end of Monday, you also have an RPA score. These are the revenue-producing activities that you do. The revenue-producing activities are things like making a new contact, giving an invite, handing out a sample, following up with someone, giving a presentation, personally sponsoring. These are the RPAs.